Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to Danny's Toy Box. Thought I'd do a video on the projects I've been working on today and the last couple of days when I have time. I got this helicopter here a couple weeks ago from Goodwill for like $3 or $4. Yeah, got a pretty nice haul that day actually. I got that big ship that I decked out to look like Cobra. I got Karen Castle is from that Frozen movie, but she's turning it into like a spooky Halloween castle. And there's one piece for that. Well, this here, this ice slide went on the back of the castle, and she didn't want it, so I popped it off of there, gave it a good coating of the white primer paint, and then I'm gonna use some of my other paint that will make it look more ice-like, crystallized. It'd be perfect for any one of my Icemen. Kind of build on my X-Men scene. Well, I'll get back to the copter. It was just a plain gray. And I'm like, I'm going to use this for G.I. Joe. It's made for the 3 3/4 inch figures, but I can fit 6-inch figures, kind of finagle them in there. And like I said, plain gray, but this stuff is pretty well dry now. There's so many different little details all over it that can get, kind of fancied up. Do some, add some stuff in there. Like here's another good example. These vents right here. This I'm going to have to take and do a little bit of paint with a brush to cover up. I didn't want paint getting on these buttons because this thing actually, it lights up right here, and all four of these buttons make different combat noises. And I didn't want to, gum that up or mess that up with the paint. It's like the system on the inside where the wires and all that are. I taped that up too because I did paint the inside of these as well. And the same thing, do some highlights, do some shading, that kind of thing. Not only make it look a little more realistic, but make it pop a little bit more. And once it's back together, it's going to be kind of hard to see, but that's the fun thing about doing this stuff, the fine little details. I was saying that to my brother earlier. I was on the phone with him for close to an hour, and I was showing him this stuff, and he was just, well, what are you going to do with that? And how are you going to do that? And I explained the little bits and pieces here, and it's just, it's all, not the devil's not the only thing that's in the details. Let me put it that way. Well, I'll run through the different pieces that I got here. This is the canopy, I guess, for the front of it, and it's got nothing in there, so I'll have to take and put some stickers there for controls. That's the one thing I don't like about the front of that thing, is it's got a seat and that's it. There's nothing else. Well, let's see. At this piece here, this goes with this wheel for, rescue, hauling stuff up. And let's pop this back over. This guy goes up right in there. I got the main rotor. That's got a couple spots that'll need to be touched up. I'm a perfectionist when it comes to this stuff. Try to be anyway. Tail rotor, got that all painted. This thing only has 3 wheels. I did not paint them. I was going to. As I was getting ready to do this, I was taping them up and realized, well, I can just take them off the copter and I don't have to worry about it. So that's what I did basically. These pieces are, let's see, where do these go? Up. These go up top. Yeah, these go up top like that. Do some, one on either side of it. I'll do some sprucing up on that. This one, I realized, is gonna need another coat. Yeah, I missed quite a bit. Either that or I got some of the spray from the green when I was doing that. This is another one, I believe. Yep, this one goes right there. I got this guy here as well. He'll need some on the underneath, and I'm gonna have to grab my drill and drill a couple of uh, holes in there for the blast effects, so I make it look like it is actually shooting. This dealie right here is the track that goes in here that the gunner seat actually rides on. And this is pretty neat. I've actually been able to get a 6-inch figure to fit in this inside the copter, but as long as it's popped out into, firing position, because otherwise he's not going to sit in there right. But there is so much more to do with this thing, I mean, the bullets alone, those are going to have to get painted, get like a nice brass and, probably silver color or something along those lines. And, some of the different control surfaces on here, maybe even the seat, I don't know. What else we got? All right, this is the back ramp for the copter. And I'm sure you've seen these silver pieces floating around, wondering what they are. What these are, and these are right along with it, these are the rings that go around the Unicron that came out back in the early 2000s. I've always loved Transformers from child to adult, but I stopped collecting Transformers long, long ago. Probably when I was a kid and I grew up, I had Hot Rod for the longest time, and that ended up getting thrown away in a stupid argument. But I was living with my brother for a while. This was, like I said, back in early 2000s. And he was telling me about this Unicron that was coming out and I should get one. So what the hell, I got one. And it's pretty cool. I've already customized it to some extent. I did have these painted, silver, hand painted, but this looks so much better. And that's why I actually took the mouth part apart so I could get these out. So these are going to be nice and shiny. And the part which would be behind those is black. What I did was I took some of my red kind of color shift and sparkle paint, and the inside of that has these concentric circles, start right here in the middle and start going out. That paint's going to show that off so much better. And I'm looking forward to putting this Unicron back together. That probably won't be till tomorrow, maybe. But yeah, that's what I've got painted up today. And still plenty of work to go on this. But I wanted to take and stop for a minute and share. And hold on just a minute. Matter of fact, speaking of sharing, thought I'd do a little cutscene there. Had to go in the next room and didn't want to just have me walking down the hall on the camera. Well, as you can see, I've made some changes to my Cobra base. I don't know if it'll be permanent, but I needed to get that ship off of my workbench. I want to do something with it, so I set it there because Karen's bumped into it a couple of times. Come home from work one day, so you're really lucky I got fast reflexes. I bumped that thing and it almost went off the table. I caught it at the last second. Yep, time to move it. And since, technically this ship is for Batman, and that is a Bat Cave, kind of makes sense putting it there. So why don't we do a close-up and I'll show you what's going on. We'll start up top here. Yeah, the Cobra with the dog, that is pretty much a regular in all my scenes. I just think that's so cool, Cobra having a dog handler as on the watch. Got my two retro Vipers back there, plus the officer there. And up top, I got my female Cobra sniper. That's the one I made from the body of Deadpool 2 Domino. And I had extra Valkyrie heads. So I painted it up, give it a little polish here and there to make her look like a Cobra Trooper, but at the same time stand out just a little bit. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. And among my Cobras, I always had one guy who was a sniper. I would take and usually have just the regular Cobra head with the goggles that came with the first bullseye, if I remember right. I was putzing around with them a while back, and I've got the fancy Televiper head, and I'm like, hey, that would look cool on a sniper. So, put it on there. Let me know what you think. And go back down here. Got my Frag Viper behind the elevator there. Got one ready to go. Just saying, come on, Jules, come on. Come on, just walk in the yard. I dare you. I dare you. Go over to the side. Since technically, this level here is ground level, I've got Scrap Iron's rocket drone right there. Eventually, all of this is going to be extended, close to the end of this table for the top level, the next level, and I'll probably put one, that level there, probably put one on the floor, what would be the floor, come out a ways. I had some material to do it, but it wasn't the right size, and I didn't like the way it looked when I, started cutting it and gluing it together, so I'll figure something out. We got this elevator here, 2 Vipers guarding that. The Viper ops are there. Female trooper using the elevator right now. She's got a trooper behind her, just peeking. Come over here to the communications center. Kind of do a close-up on some of those pictures. That picture right there had a picture of the Batmobile. And I'm like, no, that's not going to do. So I just took these 2 doubles. It's, I guess you could make them into 2 separate pictures, but they were joined in just the right way where it worked. So I put that there. I think it looks pretty cool. Got the one Cobra Televiper hard at work. The officer coming in, what are you guys doing? What the hell's going on here? Blah, 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 blah. He's trying to explain to him, okay, everything's cool. That's why we're not shitting our pants. And another one who is just minding his own business. And this guard who is just waiting for break time. Go back over to the next level down. Yeah, my wife tells me I shouldn't swear on here. Well, I don't let off any F-bombs or anything real vulgar or offensive. Sorry, yeah, I'm a machinist. I talk like a machinist. And we got this here. We got the 3 Vipers here. And another one who's basically come around this side. He's watching over what's going on down here. And for those who are seeing this for the first time, this entire bat cave, this entire playset, whatever you want to call it, I've taken apart multiple times and hand painted pretty much every surface on this. As you can see, like these lines and stuff, I did that. The lines were already there, etched into the plastic, but I wanted them to have some kind of a meaning, That's why if you look at the floor, there are different colors here and there. It's these, to me, in my idea of the story, and there's a green one right here. That one, I believe, means the lab. It's either lab or sewage. And yeah, I mean, it's even the elevator might be a little hard to see. Here, let me put a little light on the subject. There you go. Painted the whole thing gunmetal gray, and then went back by hand each one of those little blue circles you see. Oops, sorry, let's do that again with the light in the right spot. And my wife actually helped a lot too. She did that thing. She did the it's like a computer generator back there. She did that. It's all like rusted up, like it's been out in the elements for a while. She also did this the wall right there. I painted the gargoyle, but she painted the rest. I painted the ground level here, concrete here, the door. And like I said, all of those little circles, each and every run of these things, I went over like 2 or 3 times because I wanted it to have effect of like, real harsh blue lights glowing like you see in so many different sci-fi films. Oh, back to this right here. I'm going to move this guy out of the way for a sec. In the original make of this was supposed to be a Robin suit. Well, I repainted it so that it looks kind of like a suit that a Cobra trooper or more likely Cobra commander would wear. And there was a big Robin symbol right here on his chest. So I put the sticker of the Cobra signal on there to cover that up. And this guy here, I actually want to talk about him for a second. Him, like most of the Vipers here and the Viper officers, I got off of eBay, at different times. I've got 8 Viper troopers, 3 Viper officers, and 2 of the retro Vipers. This guy, when he came to me, look at his goggles. Now look at this guy's goggles. When he came to me, he came with the goggles of a Cobra officer. See? And that gave me an idea. There are different ranks. There are different levels to military. I'm sure there's of course going to have to be in a terrorist organization. So kind of like this guy's higher up than the average one. That's another thing I did with these is the bandanas. Those denote a higher rank in my world, put it that way. He's got one. He doesn't have one. And the 2 that were up by the upper elevator, they don't have one either. Just little stuff that makes sense to me, be the best way to put it. I'll go down to the lowest level, where we got the Viper officer here, Viper there. All of these weapons here, these all come off. And the door actually flips around. But I took and hand painted all of these weapons and made them a little bit different so that, make them stand out a little bit. Excuse me for a short pause while I turn around to find out why my cat is about to hack. You okay, buddy? Trouble? Come on, cough it up. You okay? Excuse the long range for a second, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta tend to my kitty. Come on, buddy. It's okay. It's okay. You alright? You okay? It's alright. He's a long hair. He probably got a fur ball. Sorry, my cats are like my children, so I gotta stop and check on him. It looks like he's okay. He stopped hacking. Like I was saying, I painted each one of those weapons. And if I move this guy, you can see the wall there, those are all molded into the wall, but I still, again, painted each one and made them a little more unique, I think. And the grenades up there, this one did have grenades. I think they're sitting in my shield bin right now. Got a whole bunch of different bins for, action figure accessories and stuff like that labeled. I'm pretty sure that's with shield right now. Sir, would you please stop pointing your gun at the guests? I'd greatly appreciate it. And stupid Viper doesn't want to stand up. Alright. Oh, we have a special guest star, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you new to the channel, meet Trouble. Hello, good boy. Trouble is my 8 going on 9-year-old partial Maine Coon. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Not surprised he does, because if you look at this table, it's got this huge space under there. And there is actually something I want to do with that. I think it's 4 of the mole rats. I want to set up a scene where once there's a floor here going all the way out, I'm going to have a hole cut with a ladder and, a lid hatch. And I got tons of styrofoam and make a bunch of it up so it's coming out, coming out like this and coming out like that, where, they're digging into the rock. And kind of give it, make it like a Cobra thing, but at the same time, give it a little bit of Energon Universe, because my wife loves doing, what do you call it, the resin molds. Yeah, the resin molds. And she's already made me a couple of different things that were really cool. And I think that would work in here, because she's made me a couple of crystals where I can have it looking like there's rock coming out from quite a ways and make it look like a cavern. And take a couple of those crystals she made for me and stick them into the styrofoam that, would be all right here. And have it like they just found it. First guy that finds it, he's done. He's done. Take off the mask. Show the ugly face with the glowing head. Anyway, now back to our regularly scheduled program. We got right here, this guy, I consider the head officer of this facility. I gave him, the different mask from the Python Trooper Officer, whichever they call it, the black and white one. You all right, Trouble? Cop it up, dude. Cop it up. Hold on a sec, guys. Let me go get my cat the Heimlich real quick. Please enjoy the show. You okay? Come on. Come on, good boy. All right. I think the danger is past. I hope. He's kind of quiet. I pat him on his back, try to help him get it up. Not sure if it worked or not, but he sure gave me a dirty look. But that's nothing new. Anyway, I gave that guy the mask, so he's like the head of this facility. And he's welcoming Destro and the Baroness. Destro's here to, how is my ship going? How is the construction, and when will it be ready to be used to drop the battle android troopers on the enemy? So that's what this big thing is. This is another thing that I found at Goodwill one day. And it wasn't until a couple days afterwards, looking at it, I found out it was from Batman. And this is from Batman. These, it's got several parts that are very similar to the Batcave, where it would connect to it with some pieces that I have from the Batcave. I just gotta dig to find them. But I'll take you on a tour. We got the one Iron Grenadier battle android trooper, who's one of them that, Destro still wants to test out in the field, standing waiting for orders. Techno Viper working on This is the transport locker, whatever you want to call it, for the battle android troopers. Yeah, you can see the other one. He's keeping watch on the other side. Says Techno Viper's working on that there. We got another Techno Viper here. He's working on the gun emplacement there. Swing up here. See, this is the one thing that really told me it was Batman, because all of these, it's a weapons rack, and it has the shape of the weapon imprinted in here, and they're the same as the one that's I just showed you in the Batcave. Very same weapons. But I just kind of decked it out with some Iron Grenadier stuff. The guns, the chainsaw blades, their hands. And you can't, get a better view. There's one Iron Grenadier backpack, and there's several spare hands. And this guy here is just checking to make sure everything's secure. We got the Iron Grenadier talking to Scrap Iron, who's in the cockpit, as he's figuring out the controls and, acclimating himself to it. And the Sergeant Major up here is, "No, don't touch that one, laddie. It'll activate the ejector seat, and we'll be finding you several miles away. Leave the button alone." I have a big kitty laying at my feet. I have to be careful not to step on him. Over on this side, we have another Techno Viper working on this side of the transport cage. And whenever I do a scene with these Techno Vipers, I gotta have one doing something funny. So this dude has had it with his gun emplacement, and he's got his power hammer out ready to go to town. I thought that would be cool. We got a view of the inside. Let me get a light because it's kind of dark over here. There you go. Got an officer checking out the computer controls on that side. Got another one here doing the same thing on the other side of the ship. And if we go over here, now let's go over this way. It'll be more fun. Alright, we got, there we go. We have the Techno Viper and the female Televiper working on the computer systems for the front of the plane, while at the same time you got a Cobra officer working here. Now I gotta find some attachments. There's like mechanical arms that will attach to these dealies and move around. I thought that would be cool for uh-oh, I just did a chain reaction. Watch out for the failing bat. Oh yeah, so I still haven't done the stickers on there. Oops, sorry. It's hard to get in. Well, I still haven't done the stickers, meaning the computer screens for that part. Sorry, it's getting a little late and I'm getting a little tired. But yeah, that's where I'm at with this. And again, for anyone who hasn't seen it, all these stickers, except for the ones by the officer and the blue one on the screens next to him up top. And the same with the other side. Sorry, the world is rotating. Those two blue ones right there and there were already with the ship, as well as that red one. All of these are all added by me. There's a cool little bit right there. Put Cobra Commander's face in there. And it's the same with up front. It's kind of hard to get in there right now. I can give it a shot again real quick. Sorry about the sloppy camera work, folks. There you go. You can see a little bit of... No, that's too bright. I'll go back here. You can see a little bit of the stickers I put on there for the computer screens and such. But I haven't done the main one yet and that keyboard. So yeah, like I said, I wanted to share this with you guys too. Hope you enjoyed the visit. Feel free to like and comment. Any questions, any suggestions, feel free to send it my way. I'd love to hear it, and I'd be happy to respond to you. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Tomorrow's going to be my housework day. And then in the evening, I'm going to spend the night over at my daughter's house because her and her husband are going to the Bristol Fair, and I get to babysit my grandson, me and my wife. So I figured, weather's nice. Let's take him to the zoo. And oh my God, you should have seen that little guy's face light up. I'll fix that later. So that's what I got going on Monday, and I'm looking forward to it. And the nice thing is, it's a paid vacation day. Well, again, oh yeah, I gotta point that out. This right here, it was just like a tannish color, and my wife painted it like this to look more like rock. And up here too, this was just plain black with these lines in it. Karen individually painted each one of those to look like stained glass. She did the same thing in my Castle Grayskull. You know, my baby's got talent in several different mediums of art, and it's so cool. And it's cool having somebody I can collaborate with my art on too. She helps me with my projects, I help her with hers, and it's a lot of fun. Okay, guys, I'm done just sleepy babbling for now. Hope you enjoyed the show. Yeah, and you know, I'm actually thinking about painting this thing. My wife said she was surprised that I didn't. I just have to take and cover up the stickers that are on there. Wouldn't be that hard, though. Well, stay tuned. I'll let you know if I'm going to do it. All right, everybody, you have a great night. Thanks for stopping by. And you'll hear from me soon. Take care. Bye-bye.